over the last couple of weeks since the last time we talked?
Well, from my standpoint, my part has been out again, is trying to beat the bushes for some new contacts. I've learned the hard way that my old real estate contacts are already established and aren't really in a hurry to jump and throw bones towards me. So I'm generating new business through new contacts. It's starting to work. I'm starting to gain some traction. Since the last conversation, I've gotten 2 purchase agreements that have been accepted finally, which is a good thing. So I got the potential money down the road, and resurrected one that I thought was dead, and that came back as of yesterday. Got another referral. Yes, actually pre-qualified somebody yesterday as a result of a referral, and that's going to turn into probably a contract by tonight.
Awesome, awesome. How about you, Kat? How are things going with you?
It's going well. This week has been a slow week for me. I just had issues with my boys being out of daycare and
Right.
life happening. But
Yeah.
I'm still keeping up with all my contacts, and I've got a couple of new leads this week as well. So just trying to keep up the momentum that I had the previous weeks with scheduling coffee and touching base with as many new realtors as I can.
Okay. You guys are getting my tip of the day, aren't you?
Yes.
Have you guys implemented any? Have you guys implemented any of those techniques into your day-to-day activities?
I'm not receiving your tip of the day.
You know what, my friend? That's right, Bruce. I don't have your cell phone number, brother. What is it?
616-405-5771.
Okay. So, what is one of the greatest struggles that you guys are facing? If you go back and look at your last 2 weeks, what comes at you as being the greatest? Like, I gotta figure out a solution to get by this, because I gather you guys are not you guys aren't in a position where you guys feel like your business is humming along. And I'm curious to know what's standing in your way, and let's really focus on a little bit of that today, and then I'll get into the messages that I wanted to talk about. But what would you say, Kat, has been your? I mean, obviously life shows up. I mean, I got a 4- and 5-year-old at home that, when they're not in daycare or they're not at camp, it's chaotic. Denise and I have to juggle that around a lot. So, tell me what's been happening over the last 2 weeks that really has put you in a position of going, man, it's just not happening the way that I wanted to.
That was really it, because before this week, I felt like everything had been going really great. But then, like, Monday was not really a working day, and then Tuesday I had one with a fever, and then Wednesday I was trying to catch up, and then I had to reschedule some appointments and stuff. So I just kind of feel like this week alone got out of control. But I really felt good about the momentum that I've had up until just then. And then I was thinking about, everything like what you said, that what you're doing today is going to affect you in 90 days. And I said, crap, in 90 days I'm going to be really upset with myself because this week got out of hand for me.
Right. So when you look at your life, and there's really nothing that we can do about that, but one of the things that I've learned over the last several years is we live in a society or in a business right now that is highly distracting. We have so many distractions at the tip of our fingers. The internet, in and of itself, is the greatest tool, but also our greatest enemy. So is our cell phones. It's amazing to me if you really look back at your day and go, how much time did I really spend today being laser focused on a specific duty or a specific task? Right. And I say that because when we look at our activity level and we look at how focused we are at times, we can accomplish an amazing amount of stuff in a very short period of time. I'll give you the example of when you go on vacation. A week or two before you go on vacation, and then a week or two after you get back from vacation. Those 4 weeks or 2 weeks typically are the most highest productive and the most result-oriented time of our months. And it's amazing how many people I've talked to on a regular basis that say, I should plan on going on vacation more because I am so busy right now. I've heard that phrase from more people than I can even count, and it has to be a result of what happens mentally and with what your activity level looks like the weeks before you go on vacation. Can anybody agree with me on that?
I agree
Absolutely.
100%.
So when I look at our life and I look at how crazy life can be and how it throws curveballs at us, it's proof that we have to be able to dedicate undistracted time in our business for the same thing that you said a second ago, Kat, which was in 45 to 90 days, I'm going to be really disappointed with myself. When you think about the activities that you have to do on a day-to-day basis to go out there and procure leads, it doesn't take an 8-hour day to do it. It really just does take an hour or 2 or 3 a day multiplied by 5 days consistently, and you'll start to build that momentum. And the whole premise of what I'm trying to explain to you guys is once you build that momentum, like through the tip of the day, and you start making those introductions and contacts, everything that I'm teaching you guys is built around a mindset of once you build that momentum, you can simply turn that into, it becomes a magnification process, because once you get enough people talking to you, you can start planting those seeds, and pretty soon you've expanded your brand, and you've got all these people out in the world around you advocating you because of what it is that you say and what it is that you believe in. So one of the things that I want to really focus on over the next couple of weeks is going to be transitioning from not only the conversations that we're having about what to say, but I'm going to start talking a lot more about tracking the activity level, because I believe right now you guys have the skill set to go out there and talk to your realtors and referral partners. Now it's going to be a matter of holding you guys accountable to the certain number of leads that you have to come in. And so what we're going to end today with is I'm going to email you a document, and it's going to be the lead tracker. I don't know if I've sent that to you guys yet or not, but starting next week, we're going to start going into what the lead tracker is, and we're going to start setting goals and expectations for ourselves around what that lead tracker is going to look like on a weekly basis. Okay? So as far as Kat goes, I really think one of the greatest strengths that you have, Kat, is that you are so high energy and you are so passionate about, I think, just talking to people and being engaged with people, that I don't think it's going to take you a lot of conversations to build that momentum. So I would challenge you, not the time block, but to recognize that when you do have moments or time that you can dedicate to your business, put that statement at the forefront of your mind, which is, in 45 days, I'm going to be really disappointed in myself, and really focus for an hour or two, knowing that after that hour or two is up, you may have some life that shows up. So that would be my challenge to you, to see if you can't cherish the time that you do have and use that to the highest of your ability. And what I guess the meaning of it behind all this is, it's a willingness statement. You have to be willing to do it, because there's nobody else behind you or next to you or in front of you that's going to be looking over your shoulder telling you that you have to do it. So it's really just between you and yourself that you've got to make that commitment to, and say, if I want the results that I believe that I deserve, I have to put in the effort in order to get there. And I think it doesn't have to do with technique. I don't think it has to do with conversation. I think it just has to do with focus, laser focus, and closing down whatever distractions that you have, and just plugging into human connection.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Bruce?
You know, my biggest challenge remains kind of the one that you and I talked about that first week, Doug, and that it's still, you know, being able to get on the phone 2 or 3 hours a day and just pound the phone and feel like I'm bringing something of value when I have those conversations after the second or third week. I mean, you can only frog them so many times, and you know, after a while, you know, it's all about. It almost feels like I'm begging, going back to a begging type of an approach, and that bothers the hell out of me. You know, so I need to develop more, become more topical on a week-to-week basis, just to, frankly, just to keep it interesting enough that they want to keep talking to me.
Right. Well, let me ask you this: when you go out there and talk to your realtors, when you go out there and talk to your referral partners,
yeah,
tell me a little bit about what your conversation looks like.
Well, early on, it's really just getting to know them a little bit and trying to, you know, learn more about their business. You know, subsequently, it's, you know, the next couple of weeks is, again, just trying to get them to talk more about what they're doing and trying to accomplish, and then trying to get into a little bit of the value-added solution proposition that we offer through Agent Mastermind, and and through Success Mortgage Partners. You know, and typically I'm able to engage them. You know, I've been very successful bringing them into the office, sitting down with Josiah, and going over marketing platforms and all that. You know, but keeping them engaged in that has become a challenge. They're excited at first, and then they realize that it actually takes effort. You know, on an ongoing basis. That kind of fades too.
Right.
So
you guys and this may go perfectly with what I wanted to talk about, and I'm almost kind of amazed that you just said that to me. Okay, do you guys have your computer screens up?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's on my computer screen right now?
Care.
Cheryl, good morning. Welcome to the group. How are you, sweetie?
Good morning. I'm fine, just busy as all get out this morning.
I can only imagine. Did you hear the statement that I said to Kat about how we're the busiest the week or two before we leave and the week or two we come back?
Most definitely, and that is very true.
I find that so funny. So, Kat, there you go. That's confirmation that what you and I just talked about is 100% accurate.
Yep.
So, okay, Care. We have a business that cares. We have a business that is unlike anybody else's, and that is we have a business that creates a referable experience with our clients, with our realtors. You have to understand that you guys are no longer, and never really have been, mortgage sellers. You guys don't sell loans. You guys don't sell rates. You guys don't sell costs. We talk about that stuff, but what we do in this economy is we sell an experience. We sell solutions to problems. Whether you're talking to a realtor or whether you're talking to a client, our job isn't to get a mortgage. Our job is to find ways to solve problems and take our clients or referral partners through an experience. Each of you has a business that cares. That's the mindset and that's the verbiage that I want you to use when you're talking to your referral partners and clients. This couldn't be more appropriate for what Bruce has just said his biggest struggle is. You feel that you don't have enough value to bring to the table. And that's because when you talk to your clients, you're more interested in selling them on using you and less on giving them solutions to problems that they have that are not tied to mortgages. See, you're not trying to convince them to sell mortgages to you or give you at-bats. What you're trying to do is build a relationship with them through experiences. So every time you talk to them, every time you meet with them, it's about creating a referable experience. Bruce, I would imagine that you've got friends that you've known for longer than a couple weeks. Is that fair?
That's fair.
When you pick up the phone to call a friend, do you find it hard to talk to your friends about the world around you?
No. I'm comfortable.
Why is it then that we struggle having conversations with people that we're really trying to determine if they're going to support our financial future, and yet we're treating them like a commodity? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. When you pick up the phone and you're talking to a realtor, you're not trying to get to know them if you feel like you can't talk to them. You're trying to sell them. That's why you don't have anything to say. The truth in the matter is that if you picked up the phone and this realtor was one of your best friends, how different would your conversation look if you were talking to your friend that was a realtor?
Yeah, I see where you're going with it, and the unfortunate part is that many of the people I'm talking to are old friends from real estate business previous. So, and then
that's fine.
I'm walking in with
But
go ahead.
But my question is, you're trying to sell them on the product. You're trying to sell them on you, and the truth is that you're not trying to sell them on you. You're not trying to sell them at all. What you're trying to do is establish a relationship, or in other words, you're not trying to get them just to hear what you're saying, Bruce. You're trying to get them to listen to what you're saying. And in order for people to listen to what you're saying, you have to get them to build a relationship with you first. And so when you think about your business in a care mindset, you're coming in with this mindset of creating a referable experience, which means that everything that you do is centered around making their life and their business better. If you were to sit down with a realtor and explain to them that your business has been created to create a referable experience and it's been tailor-made to do that, how easy would it be then to turn that conversation into, and here's why it's such a benefit. Listen, I'm not here to tell you, Mr. Realtor, that I'm the best person to do a mortgage with. I'm here to tell you that when your clients are looking to decide who they're going to work with, you're probably more concerned with them having an amazing experience because you're tied to that experience, because data shows that when the client is happy with both the realtor and the lender, the opportunity of getting that client to refer us is so much higher because they look at both of us being part of the home buying experience. I think it's imperative that we partner up and that we find good partnerships with either lenders or agents. I don't know if I'm a good partner for you. I still don't know that yet. We haven't had a deal to work on with each other. But here's what I commit to you. When we go through the process of buying a home with a client, my model has been created to create referrals, which if you ask yourself, what's the best way to grow your business? Every person would say through referrals, because it's free, because it gives us validation, and it gives us a great sense of satisfaction that we're doing a good job for somebody, and they tell other people about it. Mr. Realtor, this is the third time that I've called, and we've had a conversation about your business, and you aren't happy with your leads. So let me ask you this question. How many current client referrals are you getting from your clients right now? How many referrals are you getting from your personal friends? And how many leads are you getting into your data, into your business every month? Man, Bruce, you could literally have 50 phone calls with your agents if you started the conversation with, where's your business at today? My business is built on a referable experience platform. Is yours? Let's talk a little bit about how we can improve the referable experience with your clients. Let's improve how your business can be made to be more referable. That's why this class, past the 45 minutes of this class, Bruce, if you're struggling with that, those are the times that you need to pick up the phone and have a one-on-one conversation with me. Each one of you guys.
Okay.
You're learning this stuff once a week is only part of the program. You guys implementing it into the business is really the transformation of where your business is going to go. So here's something that I had that hit me like a ton of bricks this week, and this is really the message that I wanted to share with you guys today. But before I do that, hey Cheryl, I know that you've been on vacation and you're just getting back to swinging the hammer. Is there or has there been any struggles that you've been facing over the last couple of weeks that you feel like you want to address so that maybe we can come up with a solution?
Well, obviously I was on vacation for like a week and a half.
So
but,
probably not right now.
Yeah, so probably not. I guess I think that the seeds that I have planted in the past, I'm definitely starting to reap those.
Good.
For instance, just out of the blue, people calling me or people messaging me on Facebook. So it does take time for those seeds to grow, but you do have to water them. And even if sometimes it's just a post on Facebook, but eventually they come back around, you just have to keep top of mind to some of these people.
When you create a relationship with them and you communicate with them, not about being a salesman, but if you're picking up the phone and having a conversation with a realtor or a referral partner or a client, you have to pick up the phone and assume in your brain that you're a friend of theirs.
Right.
And here's kind of what I mean. So there's 3 mindsets that I want you guys to really pay attention to, and if you want to write them down, you can, but I am recording the class so you can go back and re-listen to this. But these are imperative. They're that you grasp this concept to help you guys moving forward. When you are in your lead acquisition, when you're out there trying to create leads, the first mindset that you have to have is you have to have what's called self-appointment mindset. It's the, I already know that I'm the best consultant that you're ever going to need. Regardless if you've said one word to them or they've said no words to you, you have to have the self-appointment mindset that I'm already your consultant and you just don't know it yet. Now, I'm not saying that in an egotistical way. I'm saying that in the mindset of, I already know that I'm going to be your friend because I know the quality of person that I am, and you're not going to find a better quality of person in this industry like me. You just don't know it yet, so let's explore this conversation farther so you can see who I really am. Self-appointment, or what I call the assume close, is an absolute first mindset must that you have to have. And you have to believe that you're not there to sell them. You're there to be their consultant and there to be their problem solver. See, we are too worried about selling product, and we're too worried about getting that sale. And so whenever we start on that, we tend to overlook what we're really trying to build, and that is a rapport or a relationship with people. And the only way to do that is to find out what their problems are, to find out what their challenges are, to find out what their struggles are. I mean, you can have that conversation with your realtors, your referral partners, and your clients. If you started every conversation out with that message, you'd start digging deeper. I think that the statistics are that if you take a look at human relationships, you have 7 levels of black, 7 levels of defense mechanisms that we all have before we get to the real issue. So what I was told and what I've been coached on is every time you ask somebody a question, there's 7 more questions that have to be asked before you get to the real root of the problem. So there's, I want to buy a house. Well, why is that important to you right now? Well, because we've outgrown our home. Well, what is it about what happened that you guys have outgrown your home? Well, we're having twins, and our first child is getting ready to start kindergarten. So in a 3-bedroom home, that doesn't work for you so much. Well, it's not just that. It's we're in a neighborhood that the school districts have been rezoned, and we're just not a big fan of the school districts. Oh, okay. So why aren't the school districts really good for your kids? And then you dig deeper, and you dig deeper, and you dig deeper, and then it's at some point you get to the emotional part of it where you find that connection, you find that emotional bond that nobody else has ever taken the time to go after. Some of us do it with ease, and some of us are a little bit, we stumble through that process. But I'm promising you, every question that you ask, there's 6 more questions that need to be probed in farther to get to the real issue, to get to the real emotional, or what I call the red side of the relationship. And so if you ever find yourself struggling to talk to people, it's more than likely because you're living in the surface. You're not really digging deep enough with the client. And by client, I mean realtor, referral partner, lead, and so forth. So the challenge for you guys there is really take a look at that, but I think it has to start with the belief that you're the best consultant out there for them. You are. You have to assume that that is what you are the moment you pick up the phone with them. The next mindset that you have to have is understanding these 3 laws. There is the giver, there's the taker, and then there's the matcher. The giver and the taker, they give, the taker takes, and the matcher is the person that plays both sides. Of those 3 laws, who do you think is the most who do you think is the most unsuccessful of those 3?
The taker.
Taker.
Okay, what about you, taker? What about you, Cheryl?
Taker for sure.
Okay. It's actually the giver. And here's why. The giver is the person, just like you, Kat, just like you, Bruce, just like you, Cheryl. You guys are all givers. You guys give, and most times you don't get anything in return. And you become resentful, you become frustrated, you become introverted, you become disappointed, you become spiteful, you become everything that you know you don't want to be. Do you know who the most successful person is in these three scenarios?
The taker?
No, it's the giver again. It's the giver that has in their process a request. See, the taker takes, and doesn't need anything because he takes. The matcher kind of plays both sides, and they kind of reach some mediocre success because they don't have any identity. The giver who gives and doesn't ask for anything in return usually is the most unsuccessful person. The giver that gives and follows it up with a request is the most successful person because they're being honored by the people that they're working with. I want you guys to really kind of chew on that for a little bit. You guys all give of yourselves mostly unconditionally. Think about your intimate personal relationships and how many people you give of yourself and then what you get in return. Sometimes it isn't having to ask for it blatantly, but our personal relationships all give us something, and that's why there are personal relationships. More than likely, you probably don't have, or maybe you do have people in your life that you give of them unconditionally, but you never get anything in return. I can think of people in my life over my lifetime that I've given that I've had to let go of because they were not healthy for me. And it wasn't because I didn't ask, it was because when I asked, I never got it. And I know we can all relate to something similar to that in our life. But as you go through your day, as you go through your business, and you ask yourself what you do for people, when you assume that you're their number one contact, that you're their consultant, you are their beacon of hope, and you just assume that, and you give and you give and you give, if you don't follow that up with a request, you're going to fall into the trap of being resentful. That is absolutely key to the success of what we're talking about. You have to follow up with a request. And the request is, don't keep me a secret. I would love to work with somebody that you care about. You know that if you refer somebody that you care about to me, they're going to come back to you and say thank you. You know how good it's going to feel when that person says thank you to you because I've built a business on creating referable experiences. Don't you want to partner with somebody that helps you build your business through relationships? And then the last one, follow up. People, the devil's in the details, but the fortune's in the follow-up. Has anybody ever heard that before?
No.
No, that's a good one.
Devil's in the details. Fortune is in the follow-up or the follow-through. We get so, quote-unquote, busy doing things that are not productive, and that's why they call it the devil, because it sucks the life out of you. The fortune is made in the follow-through. That means that when you're with your clients, you need to stop worrying about the details of the loan until you've established your relationship and you've established your follow-through. And that follow-through is the ask. It's the request. Each of you guys are extremely talented in being conversationalists. You guys are all awesome and amazing people. You guys are great professionals. You guys know what you're talking about. You guys are top notch. And you guys are not takers. You guys are not salespeople. You guys are givers. But if you're looking at your business and you're wondering why it's not where it should be, it's probably because you guys haven't mastered the art of the three mindsets that I just got done telling you about. The self-appointment, the laws of being a giver with a follow-up, or a follow through, and then the follow-up, the actual commitment to following through on what you've told people. See, the whole point of what we're doing today, or what we're doing in these classes, isn't to teach you things that you don't already know. It's just to teach you how to be better with what you already know. Just better. I'm trying to get you to sound better than you right now. I could pick up the phone and have these conversations with your clients, but that wouldn't help you. You guys have to implement this stuff and take it, and really take it to heart. Because without it, you guys are no different than any other lender that's out there. Is that making sense, guys?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you guys all care?
Yes.
Yes.
I care, what do I mean?
We care about people. We
Hey,
care about
Cheryl, do you have
relationships.
do you have your computer screen up?
I do.
By care, I mean this is what I want you guys to ask yourself. Do you guys all care? Do you guys all create a referable experience? Do you all care?
Yes.
Working towards it every day.
I'm sorry?
Yeah,
Yes, we care.
we're working towards that every day.
Bruce, I disagree. Bruce, you do it every day. Stop selling yourself short, brother. You do it every day. You do it in your own style, but you do it every day. I don't think you mentally tell yourself, I'm only going to give somebody half of myself because I don't really want them to refer me. I believe you do it every single day. However, I don't think all of you follow up with the request. I don't.
That's true.
So ask yourself why you're not asking for the request, or why you're not making it. You deserve it. You are all givers. You guys all strive to create referable experiences. So why then are you not making the request? Are you not worth it? Do you believe that your effort is less than deserving of that request? I tell you no. I want you guys to really focus on slowing down in your conversations and focusing more on believing that you're the best person for them to talk to and spending more time explaining why a partnership with you, not your company, not your branch, not your loan partners, why a partnership with you is in their best interest. And when you can articulate that to a realtor, it isn't that that's the first thing that you say. It's what you respond to after you found out what their problem is. And know that in order to get to the problem, you got to peel away the layers. Their initial response isn't the problem. Here's a little strategy that I would ask you guys to try and work on. When you're talking to your referral partners, ask them. Ask them a question and then follow it up with, why is that important to you? And ask that question 3-4 times after they give you a response. And here's what you're going to find. It's going to get very uncomfortable. It's going to get very awkward. Do you know why it's going to get uncomfortable and awkward? I've done this 100 times, so I can guarantee you it's going to be. Would anybody venture to guess why it's going to get uncomfortable and awkward?
As you drill down deep enough, it's going to get down to some emotion and feeling on their part, and it's going to expose them a little bit.
Yeah. And so here's the truth. When you start to feel the awkwardness, that's when you can literally look at them and go, listen, I'm not like any other lender. As a matter of fact, I'm not really a lender. I consider myself a problem solver. And in order for me to really figure out what your struggle is in your business, I need to understand where where your struggles are. And I need to be able to figure it out. I need to be able to work with this on you. So if you're interested in really partnering with somebody that cares, this would be a great way to do it. If you don't, I understand. And those are the people that you just need to walk away from. You're looking for partners that understand the value of a friendship and a relationship. And that's really it. Are you guys all following me on this today?
Yep.
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions about what we just talked about?
No, it's a lot to think about. It's good stuff, Doug. But, it's causing some soul searching on my part here.
What about you, Kat?
Yep, I think it's good stuff.
Yeah? Okay. Is there anything else that I can help you guys out with today?
Who do you know that we can help in our mortgage business?
It starts with a simple request, doesn't it? So hey, listen. Here's something I want you guys to try. So every one of you guys has a database, right?
Yeah.
You guys have leads that you guys probably have that are kind of sitting there inactive. Whether it's 3, 4, 10, doesn't matter. You guys have got some people out there that you've talked to about a mortgage, but haven't really started the process. Yes? No?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Here's the email that I want you guys to send to all 9 of them. And I want you guys to write this down. It's really, really, really simple.
Okay.
In the subject line, you're going to write, are you, ... And in the base of the text, you're going to write, are you still looking for a home in whatever city that they're looking in? And then wait for the replies. That's a great way to stimulate a conversation with a client that has talked to you about possibly getting pre-approved. If they say no, it's no problem. Ask them, did they decide to stay? Are they looking at postponing? And if the ones that say yes, then your first responsibility is to pick up the phone, find out what's going on, and then follow up with a conversation with the agent or refer them to an agent that you're working with. Try it. I'd love to hear what happens. Next week, guys, at the end of this class, I'm going to go ahead and do the replay. I'm going to send it to you, but in there, in the email, will also be a spreadsheet called the lead tracker. We're going to evolve our conversations into tracking the results of everything that we talk about. And you guys are going to be held accountable to the results that you guys are going to tell me you're going to seek. And the lead tracker is the one document that I've used since 2000 and probably 2001, and I've still got the data that I used every single day of my business. It's a simple, easy form, and the amazing part about it is you can't hide from it. All right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You guys have a great weekend. Thanks again for taking the time out of your schedule. Cheryl, I know that you're extremely busy. It's an honor and a pleasure to be a part of your businesses, guys. Again, if there's anything you need, you guys have my cell phone number. Please reach out to me if I can help out in between our calls.
All right.
Sounds good, Doug.
Good. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
families.
Thanks.